Hello, everybody. Ooh, close up all of a sudden. Woo, woo. Today is day 8. I'm on top of it. I know what it is. It is Saturday, August 1st. Is it August 1st? Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me grab my platter. All right. I have like so many of these princess platters. It's like your Bible. That's what helps you plan your day, what's going on, what activities you can do on the cruise ship. You get one of these every day from your room steward. They drop it off actually the night before, so you can like look it over as you're kind of unwinding from the day and plan your day out from there. So today is day 8. I already said it is August 2nd, if I'm remembering. No, wait, is it August 2nd? I think it's August 2nd. Saturday. And we went to Skagway for the day. That's what it'll tell me. Skagway. Yes. Here's the Skagway. So yes. So today is August 2nd. So I had that straight. I like came on all like cocky, knowing what I was talking about. And then I had myself second guessing myself. So anyways, waking up. Oh my God. We woke up in Skagway. We arrived at like 6 a.m. So I was still sleeping and woke up to the sounds of somebody speaking, and I was in a deep sleep. I was dreaming away, and I could hear somebody talking, and it entered my dream. It was so weird. And I was like, who is talking so loud? And then all of a sudden it woke me up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think we need to get up. And actually, I think my alarm was like set for like 6:10, and they started talking at like 6 a.m. So all was good. We had decided we would get up early, go down and do a breakfast at the buffet because it's fast. You don't need to order anything. You can just grab what you want, eat quickly, and then get on your way. So we figured that would be the best thing to do because we knew that we had an excursion at 8:30, but we needed to get off the boat and be with our group. Well, actually, in this case, Princess used water shuttles to get us from the boat to land. I think some ships will do that depending on how the dock is and everything like that. So that's what Princess had decided to do for the Skagway port. So anyways, so that's what we did. It was really easy to do. Princess runs the water shuttles quite often. They have a name to it. Do you remember what the name was? What Princess called the boats or doing the water shuttles?
Water shuttles.
Yes, Scott said water shuttles. There's a name to it. Water shuttles works. So no, it was not dinghies. All right. So anyways, Princess is really efficient with it. They run them very often. And not that, I mean, ours was in a group, so it was part of our excursion. So you just had to wait until they announced like, all right, your excursion group number, blah, blah, blah. And then follow out. They are making, they're on top of things. Like if you need a passport, they make sure to remind you, ask you a million times, do you have your passport? We did. Our excursion actually crossed into Canada and then came back. So we actually had to go through like customs while we were there. So it was really important that we had our passport. So I'm glad that they reconfirmed multiple times to make sure we were on top of it. So anyways, we had breakfast, came back to our room, had enough time in there to do what we needed to do, have everything we needed, run back downstairs to one of the lounges where we met up with our group. And then Princess sent us to our water shuttle. We left the boat. Granted, the boats they're tiny and they pack you in like sardines. That part I wasn't a fan of. I don't like tight spaces, and it was very tight. But you were on there for like 5 minutes, and then boom, you were already getting out the boat and we got onto a bus, and I don't know why my mind went blank on what you call the fancy buses. Anyways, a nice bus, charter bus.
Motorcoach.
Motorcoach. Water coach. I don't know why I heard water coach. Yeah, so anyway, so we got onto the motor coach and we had the bus driver, really informative, just giving us all sorts of information about what was going on in Skagway, all the sightseeings, pointing out all the sights to see, stopping off to the side of the road here and there, pointing out waterfalls, talking about glaciers, just all sorts of information about Skagway. So it just made it so much more fun. He was enjoyable. So his name was Seth. He has a twin brother too as well. Can't think of his name. Starts with a T. They both are 4 letters. Did you say what it is? No? Okay. All right. Forget. So anyways, so twin identical brothers. So if you're in Skagway, you get a chance for a tour with one of them, definitely do it. Seth was great. And our tour was the Klondike Suspension Bridge, a salmon bacon there, plus the drive and tour and everything like that. And it was for a bit, so it went from 8:30 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. Salmon bake was different. Takes you into Liarsville. Liarsville is where during the whole gold rush, anybody that was part of the press, they were really kind of like telling everybody, come out to Skagway. This is where, you know, you're going to hit it rich. And there's so much gold here and everything like that. Well, Skagway really isn't where the gold rush was. And so a lot of people would come out, bring all their family out there, and then, you know, lose everything because they just weren't finding the gold like what was told. So anyways, that's how Liarsville became, because all the people that were writing all these articles got basically banished off to this area of Liarsville. So that's where the salmon bake was. It was good. It was just different. It just kind of it had like that vibe of like a Renaissance festival, kind of the people there and everything like that. Super nice people. Just a bit different. So anyway, so we did that, and then Seth took us back on the motor coach, and then we had an option. He would either drop us off in downtown Skagway, where we could shop around, see all the touristy shops, restaurants and stuff, or he would drop us back off closer to where the water shuttles were so that we could get back on to the ship. They were only like 5 minutes apart from each other, walking distance, that is too. So if you decided to do the shopping, then you could easily walk yourself back to the ship, which is what Scott and I did. Hold on, I'm going to start coughing because I still have that dry throat. Okay. So Scott and I decided we would stay and do some shopping, and Scott's mom and his dad wasn't feeling so good. Scott wasn't feeling good today either. And so his dad and his mom went back to the ship, and then Scott and I stayed and did some shopping ourselves. I probably should have sent Scott to the ship with his dad, and his mom and I should have stayed, because I'm still, you know, I've been telling everybody I've had a lot of allergy stuff. My throat's not been great. I honestly don't think I'm sick. I actually picked up some Claritin. I don't know if it's going to show correctly. Found a shop that actually sells things that I could actually get like a decent quantity, a nice size. Like, there's actually 30 tablets in there. Some of the places, like you see, like Pepto-Bismol, Tylenol, and it's this tiny little pack, and it's got 4 pills. I was finding like a pack of Claritin like that, and it had 1 pill. I'm like, that's ridiculous. What's, you know, that's going to help me for 1 day. So anyway, so I finally found a store that sold decent quantities of medicine, and it was right in downtown Skagway. So I decided, let's go ahead and pick up the Claritin. I took a pill today. I feel much better. So I don't think I'm sick. I think it's definitely allergies. But Scott, when he came back from after we were done shopping and we got on our water shuttle and came back to the boat, he took like a 2 to 3 hour nap. His dad slept way more than that. So his dad slept like 5 hours, and we haven't even seen him yet tonight. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Scott gets a good night's sleep and he's okay for tomorrow. Okay, so anyway, so Scott and I had finished up after, and we, got dropped off by Seth in the downtown area. We just walked around downtown. It's very small. Lots of the same similar, it goes like souvenir shop, jewelry shop, souvenir shop, jewelry shop, and then like maybe someplace to eat and snack. A lot of the same things, just like your typical touristy downtown cities that you see all over, and any tourist, attraction, site. So I did pick up a shirt. Oh, I should have got that out. Anyway, I'll show all my Alaska stuff at some point. When we were on the Suspension Bridge tour, I picked up some postcards. You could do like a stamp, and I have been stamping. I have one of those national passport books, so I've gotten a couple stamps. When we were in Glacier Bay, I got a stamp from one of the rangers, and then when we were at, what was the other one? There was another national park that I was able to get a stamp at. Glacier Bay, and why is my mind going blank on that one? All right, sorry. It's day 8 of a vacation, so my brain is just like mush at this point. But that was during our land part. So there was 2 things. Actually, there was a third one in there too, and I might have said it in an earlier video. But we found out that at Gold Dredge 8 that I could have done a national passport stamp there, and I missed it. I didn't know about it. Actually, I talked to somebody else that was on our tour, and I asked them if they had gotten the stamp because I knew they had the book too as well, and they said they had missed it too and didn't know about it until after the fact. So we were all bummed that we were there and could have gotten a stamp in our book. Especially, I feel like this is a trip that's a once in a lifetime, so it's such a bummer. So anyways, I don't know what got me on that subject. So back to what I was talking about, Skagway. So we did do some shopping. I think I said in there already. I picked up a t-shirt. I'm trying not to get too overboard on souvenirs because we were already pretty maxed out on our suitcases. We had check bags, and you have a 50-pound limit, and both our suitcases were getting close to that 50 pounds. So every time I'm like, oh, I want to pick up something, I have that nagging feeling of you already know you are almost at max weight. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll just get really creative with the packing, and we have scales with us, the luggage scales, so we'll just have to make sure that we pack really carefully and get the suitcases where they need to be so that we don't have any problems when we go through the airport. Yeah, so anyway, so we did our shopping. Because Scott wasn't feeling good, I tried not to push it too much with him, and we went up and down quite a few streets in there too. So he was a trooper, and I appreciate that he pushed through and allowed me to do some shopping in there. But we should have just had the guys go back to the ship. I'm sure they could have gotten themselves back there all right and allowed them to sleep. And then my mother-in-law and I should have just done the shopping, and that would have been the smarter thing. So anyways, we came back though, and it was probably good for me. I was able to relax when we got back to the ship, and it was, I think, before 5 when we got back. Might have been closer to 4. And yeah, because I was able to get a workout in. Scott laid down and took a nap, and I decided, I was like, well, it's still early and I feel good. So I went to the gym again. So 2 days in a row, I did a gym workout. That felt good. It was about 45 minutes. And then I came back, I took a shower. Scott was still napping. And then I went out on the balcony. My mother-in-law was out in her balcony, so we opened them up again. And then we were able to catch up and have some good conversation, so that was nice. Checked with the guys. They were still tired and groggy, and it was time for dinner. So my mother-in-law and I, we just decided we'd do the buffet. So since it's easy and fast, and it was just the 2 of us, so we did that. And then came back to the rooms. Scott ordered room service for himself. I'm having video problems. So anyway, so after Scott ordered room service for himself, I ordered some tea with that too, and we've just stayed in and kind of just kept it quiet and easy. It's, I think, about 9 o'clock now. I'm gonna get cleaned up. I figured we'll just go to bed early tonight and call it a night. So no entertainment, nothing crazy. I think we just need to rest up and recover, and hopefully everybody's good and we just sleep it out of our system. I've already said that I'm feeling better. I took a Claritin, so mine really does seem like allergies. When we were in Skagway, before I took the Claritin, I was super itchy, needing to sneeze. So mine is definitely felt allergies, but Scott is definitely feeling that like run down cold flu symptoms. So hopefully we will see how Scott and my father-in-law are for tomorrow. Tomorrow is supposed to be an early start day. We're going to wake up and be coming into Juneau in the morning. We don't need water shuttles, so the boat will pull right up to the pier and we'll be able to walk off the boat onto the pier dock in Juneau. And then our group, because it's right there on the water and we're doing whale watching in Juneau, so our group meets up right off the boat. And then we'll probably board the smaller boat that's going to take us whale watching. We'll do that for, I think, a couple hours. You pretty much guarantee from the captain that you will see some type of whale. We've already been seeing orcas and humpback whales, so we're really hopeful, since we already had no problem spotting them just from the ship alone. And they're going to be taking us over in an area that's supposed to be way more heavily populated with whales. So super excited. I will be bringing my camera, my phone, and hopefully the weather cooperates. So it's been showing that it's going to be cold in the low 50s and rainy. Not ideal conditions for anybody that's not feeling well. So with like half of us in our group not feeling good, not so good. So say a little prayer for us. We're hopeful that tomorrow's successful. Weather was showing for Juneau today cold and rainy, like same thing in the 50s, and it was not that. It was in the 60s and it was beautiful. And so I'm hopeful. I hope I'm not asking for too much, but I'm hoping that we'll see similar things. That it typically for Juneau, I think they're known for rain, and it just seems like they always just predict rain and then see what they get. So I've been seeing it often predicted for rain, and then it changes up completely. So we will see. Otherwise, some people at our parties might have to stay back on the ship, which I think would definitely be really unfortunate. So we're just hoping Scott will have a really good rest and be okay. He seems to be kind of bouncing back a little bit. So I'm excited to tell you how tomorrow goes, and we're just gonna unwind right now and just call it a day. So all right, everyone, hope you're having the best day ever.